So hello and welcome everybody. My name is Damien Haylor. I'm Managing Director of Popcoms, and I'm joined by Stuart Janicki, who is our Head of Customer Experience, and our lovely client Annie from Syntegon. And we just wanted to have a quick discussion with Annie about her experience in creating digital experiences for her sales teams. So without further ado, we will ask Annie to introduce herself and just give us a little bit of background to her role and who Syntegon are. So over to you, Annie.
Hi, my name is Annie and I'm responsible for horizontal packaging globally at Syntegon Technology and based in Switzerland. Syntegon is a worldwide represented company and supplies packaging machines for the food industry and also for the pharma industry. I'm specialized in the food industry, and the systems we're selling are highly sophisticated and very complex. So this gives us already the main challenge when I first approached Popcoms, because I had to bring these complex machines in an interactive and easy go through environment digitally for our salespeople to help them in customer one-to-one talks and to support actually individual storylines with general informations and very complex informations.
So before you were engaging with Popcoms, what kind of tools were the sales team using in the past?
The sales team were using individual created PowerPoints to represent our machineries at customers. They are mostly working with videos because the customer has to see how the videos are working and also to convince them that it really works.
What kind of challenges did that create from a kind of marketing sales point of view?
The main challenge was really that they didn't speak with one voice. I mean, also company messages and also overall topics such as sustainability. It's important that they speak with one voice and they follow the argumentation line we are preparing. So this was the main challenge.
So Annie, so the sales teams were using sort of presentations and videos and brochures. So what was sort of the impetus or the driver to look at something new, a better way of having conversations with customers?
Yeah. Well, they have individual storylines, but there are also some overall messages we have to present at the customers and in a very professional way, because our world is getting more digitally, and also with our sales team, the need was there to have some support with tools. And so, as I said, the individual storylines had to be underlined with videos, but also brochures and everything in one tool. So one single source of truth, I would call, was really the need for our sales team.
Annie, would you like to take us through what we developed with you?
Sure. So Pop created for us an interactive and easy go-through presentation, which shows the different solutions we are offering. And especially topics such as sustainability, which are new for the market, for the packaging industry, had to be created in an informative way, but also in a fun way to go through with customers and in one-to-one discussions. And so therefore, I mean, also the presentation had to fulfill two tasks. One is obviously also to train our sales rep with global or corporate messages, but also secondly to go through these argumentation with the customer so that the customer understands what our main benefits are and why he has to choose us.
So Annie, when we started working with you, it became clear that you had, a huge amount of video content and kind of brochure content. With the types of tools we developed for you, what were the benefits for the sales team when they were sitting in front of the customer?
Well, yeah, as you said, videos are the main assets for our salespeople to be in front of customers and to and to show that our machines, like these complex machines, are really working. That's why the challenge was really for both of us to bring the best content into the tool, and that the tool is interactive and easy go through, that the sales rep don't have to look for specific videos too long. So in front of a customer, it's important to show straight away what you want to show, and therefore also the tool had to solve that problem for him.
And what other sort of content do you have inside the tool so they can access videos? But kind of what else is important to sort of feature when they're sitting there with customers?
Within the tool, they had to find or we had to touch different topics. First of all, obviously the machine itself, and also the systems we are offering, because we taking over from the oven until the cartoning, what you see in the supermarket. So therefore we had standalone machines, but also the system. So therefore it was very important, so that we're filtering, or that we could filtering it down to the machine he really needed, or the reference line. And in addition, we have topics such as sustainability or service, where we have to represent how we support the customer during his life cycle. And again, it's for him very important that he finds it straight away when he's in front of a customer.
So traditionally, I think your messaging was very much product-led. So how important is it that you've now brought in sort of the value message into those conversations?
It is very important, and also our sales structure is that we have specific people for specific products, but all of them have to give one message, one corporate message on a service level and on a lifecycle level. So therefore, tools like this really help us to bring these messages in an easy and interactive way, first to our sales rep, and then that he can bring it to the customer. So it's important that it's easy, as I said, and that he has also fun with it to go through.
So really early on in the process, we identified that sustainability was an incredibly important topic for your customers. How important is it to be able to communicate about Syntegon's sustainability, and how does that help your customers, looking forward in terms of, what products they can offer?
Well, yeah, sustainability, as you said, it's a very important topic for the packaging industry. When it started, we had actually also two challenges, because also for our sales rep, this topic was quite new. Our engineering department was preparing Syntegon or horizontal packaging for the new trend. So we had, like, as I said, the two challenges to also educate our sales rep with the topic of sustainability, and then that he can also convince the customer that we are the right partner. So we had to come from a very global picture onto like this very specific solution we are selling. So what I wanted to say is that we had a storyline we had to follow, which had to be easy to understand, so that sales reps can take the storyline and promote them in front of a customer.
So Annie, I mean, in terms of what's going on at the moment with COVID, has moving to this sort of digital sales tool, has that helped in any way mitigate some of the issues?
Yeah, for sure. As I said, we have very highly sophisticated and complex machineries. So we have a very long selling process, and our sales rep will use to travel to our customers to see them face to face. I mean, since COVID, we all learned that we can also live without traveling, but obviously it makes it more complicated, and therefore it's so important to have a tool, a digital tool which can be shared through the screens, and still follow the same storyline and to build up the same trust with our customers.
And you also, we've worked with you a lot on live events, such as, Impact, which is your big the event that you do each year. clearly that isn't taking place. So what have you done there? Have you moved to virtual events? What has it been doing to cover that space?
Yes, we have moved to virtual events. In the beginning of this year, it was a quite new experience for our company, but I think we all are in learning curves on that. So it was a great place for us to meet customers and for our sales rep to try something new. And yeah, I'm curious to know what the world or how the world will change when COVID is over, if that in any case will happen. But I think for us as a company, it was a great learning and should be our goal for the future to create one-to-one talks, but not face-to-face, but still have the same emotional transferring. And I think sales tool like this really helps us to connect there with our customers.
And in terms of sort of the virtual events that you've run, have the customers generally been sort of positive about that? Have they engaged with you over these virtual events?
Yes, they were really positive, and out of a marketing branding perspective, it was a very great experience. What we learned is that we have to create more individual little events, still digitally, but not one to mass, so more like one to one or one to many of the customers. So yeah, this is what our learning curves is about, that we create virtual in-house show as an example. So for we have, when we sell a machine and it goes short just before it goes to the customer, we have FIT, which is called factory acceptance tests. And since COVID, nobody could travel anymore, so we did it digitally. So we streamed these machines with our project management to the customer, so that he can see what we have done, and that he can say, okay, yes, let's go ship it to us. So yeah, it's a great learning. I mean, yeah, there's always the negative side and the positive side of it.
So that's quite interesting. So you've taken the idea of, you know, these big shows, as you say, are kind of one to masses, where all of your customers from whatever sector all come at one time. But you found that doing a much more sort of personalized, smaller events is proving much more sort of effective, really.
Yeah. I think this could be also an experience we do. I mean, when we talk to like a person, it doesn't matter if it's face to face or digitally, that you feel more, how to say,
Engaged,
special. Yeah, engaged, special. You feel like, oh, okay, they're taking time for me. Oh, that's quite interesting. And now I have the opportunity to talk to someone who's specialized in, and also the advantage is that you could also take one engineer with you who's maybe normally not at exhibitions running around. So it gives you really more opportunities. And for us as a company, when we had to change on digital solutions, or we were forced to engage with customer, it's out of my perspective, it's a great chance for us in the future.
So Annie, you and I have been working together for a many number of years now. We've had lots and lots of conversations, but just from your point of view, what is it like having an agency that you can work with and, you know, and kind of work through your ideas? You know, how important is that for you, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, as I guess all marketers know, that there come times just before events, even it doesn't matter if they're digitally or in-person events. Yeah, there comes some busy times, and for that, it's really important to have an agency on your side who understand your pain points and really also know how to relieve them. And yeah, so when I think about Popcoms as an agency, it gives me really peace of mind because, yeah, as I said, to understand the pain points of the customer and then also are able to relieve them. This is for me the most important, and this is what you as an agency really understands. So yeah.
That's great to hear. That's good to hear.
And you know, how important is it to work with an agency that kind of understands your sector and sort of the terminology? Is that important for you?
Yeah, that's really important. But I'm just saying that the agency has to have the ability to learn, because obviously it's a very specific industry, and it's nothing you have to do with when you're as a normal consumer. So you just see the packaging, but what's really behind it, it really impressed me in the beginning. I'm also a normal marketing person, and didn't have to studying engineering or something like this. But I mean, for me as a marketing, to understand what the engineering is trying to tell me, and then to move it to our agency so that the agency really understands and create these experience based on the things we know and the things our salespeople have to live with. It's really important to speak the same language. But also everyone is their own, or has their own expertise. So obviously this is also important. It's not that you have to know now everything about our machine. It's important that you give me some impulses on trying something in a different way, or being professional about user experience and how to structure our content in the best way. So also that an agency can criticize also maybe sometimes the way you doing it, or and helping me in that position to create a more or a better presentation for our salespeople.
So that's great. Thank you very much, Annie. I think that's been, you've really highlighted some very interesting and useful areas there. So thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. I really enjoyed it too.
And how's the weather in Switzerland? I know you've got a surf. There aren't many waves on.
No. It's rainy. It's cloudy today, and so the autumn is really here. Yeah, it's really cold.